Secrets of the Sussexes, seatbelts on. The verdict on the ratings for Meghan Markle's Lifestyle Spectacular, Part 2, is in, and it's blunt. The show didn't make Netflix's top 10 in the US, the UK, or the global chart in its release week. That's not tabloid spite, it's a dry readout from outlets logging Netflix's own data. People notes it plainly. The debut week, August 25th to 31st, missed every top 10 unlike last time, when Season 1 snuck in at number 10 with 2.6 million views and 12.6 million hours. This time, silence. The picture gets colder with a wider lens. Forbes reports at least a 20% drop relative to the first season's start, despite the idea that a cozy kitchen format should stretch steadily over time. It didn't. Add Luminate streaming charts. In late August, with Love, Meghan didn't crack the US top 50 at all, suggesting under 1.11 million American views in its first 2 days. That's not just not a top 10. That's below the visibility threshold in the biggest market. There's another data branch from Netflix's semi-annual What We Watched report. January-June 2025, Season 1 lands at number 383 with 5.3 million views. In plain English, no long tail. People aren't circling back. For a format that's supposed to live by seasons and recipes, that's the wound. Without return viewing, Lifestyle becomes a one-use postcard. Maybe Netflix isn't worried? Vanity Fair hedges, sure. The streamer's still in the Sussex business, just not in the Sussex Records business after the peak of Harry and Meghan. That's plausible. The industry can keep big names on oxygen if there's some return. But oxygen isn't resuscitation. No one brings a second mask if the monitors don't blip. And for clarity's sake, here's the baseline. Last March, Season 1 made the global top 10 at number 10, hit number 7 in the UK, and number 10 in the US. That 2.6 million view start looked like okay, maybe this can find a niche. It didn't. Season 2 opened with at least a 1/5 audience drop and 0 top 10s. By Netflix standards, that's a flop. The spreadsheets don't do sympathy. Why didn't it land, when on paper it had what the algorithm likes: big-name guests, Tan France, Jay Shetty, Chrissy Teigen, chefs like Jose Andres and Claire Smith, glossy visuals, simple recipes, and behind-the-scenes bloopers meant to show the real Meghan? Because the audience can tell comfort from the performance of comfort. When it's easy gets repeated at every turn, from vanilla turmeric marshmallows to beans and persimmon toast, viewers hear not simplicity but a mismatch with life. Simplicity staged becomes icing without flavor. Second factor, burnout on the persona as a genre. First time, curiosity did the lifting. What's her tone now? By round 2, tone doesn't sell. Durable kitchen and lifestyle shows run on person-to-person warmth. You come for the people, not for the image. Here, the threads you want to hold: family scenes without posing, home rituals without overproduction, guest chats without PR glue, aren't there. Result: more pro cameras in frame than live emotion, and the numbers confirm it. Audiences vote with the remote, not the press release. Third layer, reputational fatigue. Post-Harry and Meghan, Archwell projects haven't broken out. The Earnest Live to Lead, the sports doc Heart of Invictus, the new Polo, no obvious booms. In August, Forbes noted the Netflix deal was extended, but on different terms, leaner and more cautious, a first-look setup. Translation: ideas are weighed one by one, no more bulk buy out of respect for titles. The brand remains, the credit line now has a limit. Now the moral. A home show doesn't live on furniture or lighting, it lives on the trust distance between host and viewer. Replace the distance with glass, perfect, gleaming, cold, and the kitchen becomes a set for someone else's admiration. People clock that instantly. Their kitchens don't have rented locations and crew carousels, they have kids' footsteps, a dog on the table, a spouse who can't chop onions, and a mom griping about too much Polish. The paradox of with Love, Meghan. The word love is spoken, the habit of love isn't visible. On screen, ideal. In feeling, not mine. The algorithm lost to anthropology. Hence the disappearance of the hate watchers. They were plentiful, donating minutes out of spite and cringe. In Season 2, watching to hate got boring. Nothing breaks, surprises, argues, or apologizes, it's all as flat as a scented candle catalogue. That's the final stage of any scandal-based media arc. not hated, ignored. For streaming, that's worse than bad press. Fourth, digital geography. Sure, you can hope for a long tail, recipe life, seasonal bundles, a holiday special. But Netflix's H1 report already told us the first season didn't grow 383, 5.3 million views. Not evergreen. Which means the holiday attempt risks repeating the one-week arc. On a platform storefront, you either hit top 10 quickly or almost never. Add the guest paradox. When heavy hitters, France, Tegan, Shetty, Andres, drop in, they don't need the arc, they bring their own audience. That audience comes for them, not the host. If the host lacks magnetism strong enough to gather and hold, guests don't save the format, they highlight the gap. Season 2 spelled that out starkly, like black plates on a white table. Fifth, timing nerves. Meghan isn't just a woman with recipes. She's a symbol in a polarizing story, and any project is read against that backdrop. For a lifestyle show to breathe, it needs to detach from the news cycle and find a quiet, human tempo. That doesn't happen here. Each episode sounds like a press release in a house apron. Viewers long ago picked the simple ones who laugh when it burns, call mom for help, and let the mess into frame. With love, Meghan has no mess. Without mess, there's no life. And the invisibility cloak, but the streamer's still in the game, right? Works poorly when the same feed carries Vanity Fair gently advising not to overread Netflix's interest. The height of Harry and Meghan remains unmatched. Partnership, yes. Cult, no. With week 1 charts missing, week 2 chatter absent, and an H1 table with no tail, it's fine gets harder to say. The conclusion is harsh but honest. Content built on averaged gloss can't hold the averaged viewer. Audiences go where there's real utility, we learned it and cooked it yesterday, or real closeness, we talked and won't forget. Season 2 of With Love, Meghan delivered neither. It offered a pretty box with the right labels and emptiness inside. Titles can't decorate a void. What's next? Netflix is sensibly shifting to a more cautious model with the Sussexes. Projects taken one by one, cold evaluation, traffic decides. That model doesn't write anyone off, it demands proof. The only proof that matters here, remove the glass between the frame and the people. Until that happens, we'll keep returning to the same line, no top 10, down 20% from launch, below Luminate's US visibility, number 383 in the half-year chart. That's not opinion, it's the week's log. And the moral, without fireworks, authenticity can't be penciled into a production schedule. You can't light it softly, stage it with a blooper, and stamp it easy. You can only live it and invite people into your kitchen without caveats. Until then, With Love will stay the word on the lid, not what's in the jar. Viewers figured that out a while ago. The ratings just signed it off, politely.